The illusion of provision, why Black children need more than material success. Good evening, everyone. I'm truly honored to stand before you today. Recently, I had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Tobi Slaughter, a revolutionary force in Black community empowerment, whose work has fundamentally transformed how we understand family dynamics and intergenerational healing. Toby isn't just an advocate, she's a visionary who stands at the critical intersection of family systems, community resilience, and Black maternal health. Her insights have not only challenged conventional wisdom, but completely shattered the frameworks through which we've traditionally viewed persistent disparities in our communities. What makes Toby's perspective so invaluable isn't merely her encyclopedic knowledge, it's the fierce compassion with which she examines complex social issues, always centering the dignity, humanity, and untapped potential of Black families. Her work has literally saved lives, transformed communities, and sparked a movement that's rippling across the nation. She embodies the revolutionary spirit of our ancestors while forging bold new pathways toward collective liberation. Let me start with a question that might seem deceptively simple. What makes a good parent? Take a moment. If I asked you to picture a good parent, what images flood your mind? Perhaps someone working multiple jobs to put food on the table, someone sacrificing to afford nice clothes for their children, someone ensuring their kids attend good schools and safe neighborhoods, someone providing a stable home with all the necessities. These are all important, valuable things, critical things. But here's the disruptive truth I want to explore with you today. Good provision is not the same as good parenting. This distinction between providing material resources and truly parenting isn't just academic. It lies at the heart of many challenges facing Black communities today. And understanding this distinction could transform how we approach everything from maternal health disparities to teen pregnancy to the intergenerational transmission of trauma. We've been indoctrinated to believe that success means financial stability, that good parenting means giving our children what we didn't have materially. That love is demonstrated primarily through provision. But what if this conventional wisdom is dangerously incomplete? What if, in our relentless focus on providing, we've overlooked something equally or perhaps even more essential? This isn't about diminishing the importance of economic security. The ability to provide is crucial, especially for communities that have faced centuries of systematic economic exclusion and exploitation. But provision alone doesn't address the full spectrum of human needs, particularly the emotional, psychological, and spiritual dimensions that shape who we become and how we move through the world. Let me share three powerful insights from my conversation with Toby Slaughter that illuminate this critical distinction. First, good parenting transcends good provision. While providing material needs is necessary, it doesn't guarantee emotional security or guidance. Many Black professionals and entrepreneurs today grew up in homes where basic needs were met, but emotional nurturing was scarce. They had food in their stomachs, but hunger in their hearts. They had roofs over their heads, but uncertainty in their spirits. They had new clothes on their backs, but shame in their souls. True empowerment comes not just from what we give our children materially, but how we nurture their sense of self worth, identity, belonging, and possibility. Second, the motivations behind behaviors we often pathologize, like teen pregnancy, are frequently misunderstood and oversimplified. For many Black teens, pregnancy isn't simply the result of lack of education or resources, it's often motivated by a profound search for love, validation, and belonging that is missing at home. This challenges the stereotype that teen pregnancy results only from poverty or neglect. It reveals a deeper emotional hunger that material provision alone cannot satisfy. A hunger to matter, to be seen, to create connection in a world that often renders Black girls invisible. Third, community driven solutions make a profound difference when they address both material and emotional needs. Programs led by Black women and for Black women demonstrate that intentional, culturally competent support networks can close racial gaps in maternal and infant health and help break cycles of disadvantage. These solutions work precisely because they recognize that healing requires both resources and relationship. Let's examine these insights more closely through some remarkable real world examples. In Nebraska, a state with one of the highest infant mortality rates for Black babies in America, an organization called IB Black Girl is revolutionizing maternal health outcomes. Founded by State Senator Ashley Spivey, this Omaha based nonprofit launched a doula program specifically designed to support Black mothers navigating a healthcare system that has historically devalued their lives and experiences. What makes this program transformative? It doesn't just provide access to healthcare, though that's important. It provides one on one support, education, and advocacy for Black mothers, focusing on holistic well being. The doulas don't just attend births, they build relationships. They don't just offer information, they offer presence. They don't just address physical needs, they nurture emotional and cultural connections. The results have been nothing short of revolutionary. The program has increased awareness, improved maternal and infant health outcomes, and inspired similar initiatives statewide. It established Nebraska's first Black led, community based doula program and influenced policy discussions on health equity. But what's most striking is how this program demonstrates the power of addressing root causes beyond material provision. These doulas provide something that conventional healthcare often catastrophically fails to deliver: cultural understanding, emotional support, and a sense of being truly seen and valued during one of life's most vulnerable transitions. This is the difference between provision and presence, between transaction and transformation. Now let's turn to another challenging issue: teen pregnancy among African, Caribbean, and Black adolescents in North America. Despite overall declines in teen pregnancy rates, this remains a significant issue in many Black communities. The conventional approach has been to focus on access to contraception and sex education, important provisions, certainly. But when researchers actually listened to these young women, they discovered something profoundly unexpected. Many ACB teens reported that their motivations for pregnancy weren't primarily about lack of knowledge or access to contraception. They were rooted in a desperate desire for love, acceptance, or to fill emotional voids left by absent or emotionally distant parenting. One young woman said, "I thought having a baby would give me someone who would love me unconditionally, something I never experienced growing up." Another shared, "I wanted to create the family I never had." This insight led to a fundamental shift in approach. Rather than focusing exclusively on preventing pregnancy through provision of resources, successful programs began addressing the emotional and psychological needs driving these decisions. They implemented targeted outreach, culturally sensitive education, and mentorship programs that address both practical and emotional needs. These programs established trust, created peer support networks, and shifted narratives around teen pregnancy from blame to understanding. The outcomes included not just declining pregnancy rates, but improved self esteem among participants. By addressing the hunger for belonging and connection, not just the need for information or resources. These programs demonstrated the importance of emotional nurturing in changing life trajectories. A third example comes from the New Jersey Department of Health's Division of Family Health Services, which implemented programs to reduce teen births across all racial groups, including Black teens. What distinguished their approach was its comprehensiveness, providing educational resources and healthcare access while also fostering community engagement and emotional support. The division recognized that teen mothers, particularly Black teens, faced elevated risks not just because of limited access to education or financial resources, but because of limited social support and emotional guidance. By addressing both material and emotional needs, they achieved record low teen birth rates for Black teens, improved maternal and child health metrics, and fostered cross sector partnerships. These success stories reveal a profound truth. When we address both provision and presence, material needs, and emotional nurturing, we create the conditions for transformative change. This distinction matters deeply for Black communities. Historically, systemic racism has created barriers to economic opportunity, making provision itself a challenge for many Black families. This reality has sometimes led to a hyper focus on economic survival, working multiple jobs, sacrificing time with family to ensure bills are paid, prioritizing material security over emotional presence. These choices are understandable responses to systemic inequity, but they come with unintended consequences. Children raised in environments where provision is prioritized over presence may grow up with material needs met, but emotional needs unaddressed. They may internalize the message that their value lies in what they can produce or provide, not in who they inherently are. This creates a painful cycle. Adults who grew up without emotional nurturing may struggle to provide it for their own children, even as they excel at material provision. The cycle continues, generation after generation, manifesting in different ways, from teen pregnancy to maternal health disparities to professional burnout among high achieving Black women and men who never learned to value themselves beyond their productivity. Breaking this cycle requires a fundamental shift in how we think about parenting, community support, and even success itself. It requires recognizing that presence, true emotional availability, attunement, and nurturing is not a luxury. It's a necessity as fundamental as food or shelter. This isn't about blaming parents who have done their best under difficult circumstances. It's about expanding our understanding of what children and adults truly need to thrive. It's about recognizing that the dichotomy between provision and presence is false. We need both. So I challenge you today. Examine where in your life you've prioritized provision over presence. Where have you measured your worth by what you produce rather than who you are? Where might you need to heal from the absence of emotional nurturing in your own life? And then I ask you to take this awareness and transform it into action. If you're a parent, commit to being emotionally present with your children, even if just for 15 focused minutes each day. If you're a community leader, design programs that address both material and emotional needs. If you're a policymaker, consider how your policies either support or undermine families' ability to provide both resources and and presence. Because our children are starving, not just for food, but for connection, not just for shelter, but for safety, not just for education, but for emotional intelligence, not just for things, but for the truth of who they are and what they're capable of becoming. The revolution we need won't be found in more provision alone. It will come when we recognize that our presence, our full, authentic, emotionally available presence, is the most powerful gift we can offer the next generation. And that gift will change everything. Thank you